way to out of my house.
I have 2 more callers.
Okay, we've got 2 more callers on the line. We're just looking for the rest of everybody who's calling in. Who do we have joining us this morning?
Stephanie, Megan.
Hi, Stephanie and Megan.
Hey.
Welcome.
Yeah. But anyway, well,
Hello, Sheriff Brian Weatherford.
I was so hoping to see you.
Buck says he was so hoping to see you.
what does he want?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see Buck too.
All right.
I have 1 more caller.
We have 1 more caller that needs to identify themselves who's joined us. Who is that, please? If you've not identified.
Ken Leonard.
Hey, Ken. Yeah, good to have you join us this morning. Well, it is officially 11 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and call this meeting of the Tyler County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record reflect that this meeting has been called in accordance and duly called in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, and a quorum is present. The chair will acknowledge that Commissioners Nash and Hudson are present in the courtroom. We are social distancing from one another, and this particular Commissioners Court meeting is being live streamed on YouTube. We do have a public comments section, and I do know that Ken Leonard and I had spoken the other day. He had called in to request to share some information regarding the census, and then we are going to give him that opportunity in the public forum portion of the agenda. I will also let you know that the county clerk, is present with us this morning, and she's just gotten my pen, so fortunately I have another pen available to me.
Mine quit right
It is
now.
we have some pen failures this morning with us. So we've established a quorum. We want to acknowledge those guests, including Ken Leonard, that is with us this morning. And it is the practice of the court to exercise an invocation and a pledge of allegiance. It has been the practice for the last several meetings that we've tried to use a social media to do so with, so we will suspend with the Pledge of Allegiance unless there's a request to do so. And so we have another pen present for Commissioner Nash. He's giving us an alert for that. With that being said, Commissioner Hudson, you have an invocation for the court, I
Yes,
believe.
sir, I can do that.
Okay.
Do we need to stand?
Yes.
Dear Lord, we thank you for another day. Thank you for your goodness and your mercy to us during this trying time. Pray that you be with the court today as we make decisions to help further govern our county. And we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I neglected to give a disclaimer that if you are not comfortable participating in the invocation, you should mute your lines. So hopefully those who are present are not offended by that. In regard to public comments, I would like to go now to Ken Leonard and provide for him an opportunity to speak to the court by way of public comments. So Ken, again, well, glad you're here, and would you please move forward with your comments?
Well, Judge, thank you for the invitation to speak to Commissioner Court, which I can do with y'all in person. Hopefully I'll be able to be down there soon, and hopefully I think y'all have the Dogwood Festival coming up, and I'll try to get to that. The census, of course, field operations put on hold because of the COVID virus, and we're now about to ramp them up. But y'all's response rate in Tyler County has been a lot less than it should have been, but that's primarily because we suspended update leave, and that's where we actually go to the door of houses that don't have a street address. They either get their mail at a post office box or they have a rural mail route, and they leave census information at the door. Everyone who has a city address should have gotten notices in the mail. But why it's important to get everybody counted is because federal grant money is all tied to census numbers. No matter what grant you're going after, you're gonna have to put numbers that are included in the census. And if people aren't being counted, that's money that you're gonna be leaving on the table. Also, the census is in the Constitution to ensure equal apportionment in Congress. That is, that every state gets their fair share of representation in the House of Representatives. But I am a former county commissioner. I always say I'm a recovering county commissioner. I served 8 years in Kaufman County, but I also served as a city councilman in 20 for one term for 2 years, and that was back in the 1980s when we lost property value in the city of Forney, and we had to either raise taxes to make up for the difference, or we had to figure out where to pay. And if you wind up in that kind of situation, you're going to be looking for money any place you can get it, grant funding, and that's why it's doubly important to make sure that everyone in Tyler County is counted, because whatever number you wind up with in the end of this, you're going to live with for the next 10 years. So you're not only affecting 1 year's budget, you're affecting 10 years' budget if there's someone that's not counted. So we really do need y'all's help to promote the census on social media, to encourage people who have the trust of folks that are unlikely to respond to the census. Low income people are the most notorious for not responding to the census. Also, people that don't speak English, reach out to people in the non-English speaking community and find out who has their trust and get them to encourage them to respond to the census, and tell them nothing bad can happen to them because they answered the census, because we can literally go to jail and face heavy fines if we reveal any personally identifiable information. All we give to the president are raw numbers, and any information they give the census is locked away for 72 years. That's about it. I'll be glad to answer any questions y'all have.
Okay, is there any questions for Ken from any of those present? Let me identify, I think that Commissioner Sturrock had identified for a complete count committee, folks from his precinct that are participating in this process. So I would just say that I am aware of that to aid this fulfillment of this requirement for the court. Was there anybody else? Anybody else who's added complete count committee members?
I have a committee.
Okay.
I have my people.
Commissioner Hudson says that he has folks that he's identified. Commissioner Nash, any comments or any?
It's important that we can everybody.
Okay,
Sure.
good. Commissioner Sturts.
Hey, Joe.
On the line. Yeah, hey, Commissioner Marshall.
Hey, man, sorry I was a little late getting this.
Okay, thank you for your presence. That is a full complement of the Commissioner's Court. Well, Ken, thank you for your information, your update and encouragement to the court. We certainly receive your comments and are grateful for everything that you're doing to help us in this process. And we will continue to keep this before the court on an upper level of the radar. Anything else?
Okay. If y'all need flyers and information to pass out, especially if you have food banks, that kind of thing, I will get them down there to you. And something we're doing here in Forney, the Economic Development Corporation put aside some funding for the census, and they bought basically yard signs, and that just have the city's logo, and it says "Be Counted" and has the census website. And we're mainly putting them at the entrances to neighborhoods, and that might be something y'all might think about also.
Okay, good deal. Thank you, Ken. All right.
Thank you.
If there's nothing further, Ken, you're certainly welcome to stay with us like we mentioned before, but if you need to attend to other work, we certainly understand that.
Well, and let me give my phone number real quick.
Okay.
If there's anything y'all need, my phone number is 817
Yes, sir.
675-7602.
Very good. Okay, we do have one of the city mayors on the line with us, Ken, so she's got the benefit of this conversation for her jurisdiction as well, which is also in Commissioner Nash's precinct. Okay, I think we got it. Thank you so much. It had come to the court's attention this morning regarding a notice to bidders, and so I reached out to Eric regarding a posting that was in the paper this morning. A posting that was in a previous paper. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge with the auditor's office, and I'm just going to read this. It said sealed bids will be received in the office of the auditor at the address here, room 110, and until 11 a.m. May 26th, so that has occurred, at which time and place all bids received will be publicly open during the regularly scheduled Commissioners Court meeting at 11 a.m. Megan, you and Stephanie are on the line with us. You're representing Jackie, our auditor. And have you received bids into your office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you, at the 11 o'clock hour, opened those bids?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I did speak with Eric because it has been our practice in previous years to have a specific line item to open the bids and then a specific action item to award the bids. In speaking with him this morning, and he did take a look at this, he said it meets all of the criteria of Local Government Code 262.025B2 for the auditor's office to acknowledge to the Commissioner's Court that they did receive bids and that they are permitted to open those bids without a formal court action, since we don't have any specific action on the court. So he said, bring that to the court's attention so everybody will know that the fulfillment of the bid and that a request for formal action after some study of the bids should be placed on a future agenda. And I do have a copy of his email. I asked him if he would reduce that down to an email just so that we would have it for the record and we would also have it for our formal action here this morning. So according to legal counsel that I had sought, we have satisfied that, and we want to go ahead and acknowledge to both Stephanie and Megan that we have discussed that, and that Jill, if you will, put the formal action in a future agenda for the court to take action on awarding of those bids. And he said we will be in full compliance with what the law specifically directs us to do in regard to that. So I just want to call that to each of your attention this morning. Stephanie had brought it to my attention, and so to be sure that we knew what we were doing and how we were doing it and was complete, I went ahead and just reached out to Eric. And so that was his guidance that he had given us in regard to that. So with that being
We
said,
should make it a practice that we do open those bids normally in public.
yes, but he said based upon the wording.
I'm not complaining, I'm not arguing about what we're doing now, I'm just saying, I think the practice of the court should be that we open those bids in court, like we've normally done it.
Sure.
But I ain't saying it's not right or wrong, I'm just saying I think that would be best practice.
Okay. Your point is well taken, Commissioner, and we will make note of that. Thank you. Okay. We're moving on to Roman numeral 2, section of the Commissioner's Court agenda, and we have minutes from the previous meetings. The regular meeting was held on the 11th of May. We have minutes that have been transmitted to us by our court member, County Clerk, Donnice Gregory. Donnice, only thing that I think caught my attention that I would just like to request is on the part which says Commissioner Hudson made the motion to open bids for tax office renovations. in the continuation of that paragraph, the last sentence says a special call meeting for Thursday at 2 p.m. will be posted to award this. May not hurt just for reference to put Thursday, May 14th at 2 p.m. So in case somebody's reading through there, they will see that there's a subsequent special meeting minutes that they can tie that to. And that would be the only thing that I would ask on that particular set of regular minutes from the 11th, just for some additional clarification. Anything anybody else picked up, want to call to the attention for Donnie's to either amend or delete?
I think it needs to be mentioned that we did set a record on May 14th.
And what was that record, Commissioner?
Shortest.
What was it, 20 minutes? Okay. So noted, Commissioner. All right. Now, we do have the minutes from the special meeting of 2 o'clock, which was just to take the formal action. Commissioner Hudson did make that motion with the second by Commissioner Marshall, and that is part of the minutes. Is there a motion to receive those minutes into the record with the one addition that I'm requesting and any other additions that you may wish to add?
So moved.
Okay, there is a motion, is there? And Commissioner Hudson seconds that. Any other comments from the commissioners that are joining us remotely? Commissioner Sturr, Commissioner Marshall? If not,
No comment.
okay, thank you. Since Commissioner Nash made the motion, that's assuming he's going to support that with a vote. Is that true, to receive the
That
minutes?
is true.
Okay. And Commissioner Sturr, do you vote to receive the minutes into the record?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Marshall?
Yes.
And Commissioner Hudson? That'd be a yes. Okay, so it's unanimous. We'll receive the minutes into the record. Item B is a budget amendment and line item transfers. I'm not aware of anything. Stephanie, do you have anything to call to the
There's
court's
none
attention?
at this time.
Okay, that is a standing item on the agenda, so we'll take no action and move to item C. And we have accounts payable. Stephanie, we have been presented a copy of the accounts payable, and we just need to take formal action to pay the county bills. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a motion to the effect for accounts payable transactions?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Nash sets the motion into effect. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Marshall.
I'll second.
Is there any comments? Hearing none. Commissioner Nash, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sturr?
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall?
Yes.
Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
Okay, it's unanimous. We are authorizing for the accounts payable to be performed. We're moving to item D, and that's the installation of the radio tower to the Doucette Tower by Performance Communication and Payment out of contingency line item. Donald is here in the courtroom, and I want to go ahead and acknowledge him. He has been participating in this particular activity in behalf of the county. And so we need to do the installation. We need to engage the services of performance communication by paying out of contingency. And just for the record, for everybody's sake, are you aware of how much that is?
No.
Stephanie, do you have a copy?
And
Do you have a copy of that that bill?
no, sir.
It was attached and it was emailed out. It's, $2,175.
It's $2,175. Now, I want to call upon Donald, since he's here. Does that complete all of the necessary movement from what was previously the Bergman Tower that we broadcast from to the county tower?
Yes, the light at the top needs to be replaced.
Okay,
And then while we're up there, might as well replace the antenna with the one that we had recently purchased that we took off the Bergman Tower.
okay, so that's an additional activity that needs to be completed, true? Okay. Currently, what we are paying for is the $2,175, but there will need to be an additional service provided according to what Donald has mentioned to us. We're going to go ahead and take action on this current statement, and I would entertain a motion with a second.
I'll make a motion, Judge.
Thank you, Mike.
Continue.
All right.
I'll second.
And there is a second, Commissioner Hudson, and then we will be paying for that out of the contingency line item, $2,175. Yes, sir, Commissioner.
The technology line item, or the line item that we pay for our computers and all that stuff, that would be more appropriate.
That's a good question. Typically, that technology is.
We pay for the fiber and stuff out of it. Do you pay for that out of contingency?
The data processing
Yes.
budget.
Well, I don't know if it's data processing, but the computers and all that. I don't know, I'm just saying.
Okay. This is kind of an anomaly in the sense that we don't necessarily have, to my knowledge, and if somebody's aware of that, go ahead and speak up, as far as an account that we're doing the tower, other than the lease payments that we've been making out of that, which will go away.
What account have we been paying those lease payments out of? Do you know that, Stephanie?
Stephanie, can you hear the question?
Not, I'll have to go look.
Okay. Now, since we're at the discussion phase of this particular motion, if there is a line item that is more appropriate other than a contingency, is it your thought, Commissioner, that would be your preference? Is
Yes,
it
but
come
it's
out?
not, it's only $2,000. If it was a much more significant amount, we'd probably need to table it, but this being $2,000, unless we find something different, I'll go.
Would it be acceptable to you that if we go ahead and authorize the paying for it out of contingency, and then if we find
Yes,
that it's appropriate that we move it from another, we can do a line item transfer
That'd be great.
back into contingency
yes.
out of that account? But great question. Okay, so we have the motion with the second for paying it for out of contingency, and that we will look into that, and I'll look at my budget book.
If I have a budget thing, I'll go through it myself.
Yeah. But currently, we're gonna go ahead and authorize
We
it
need
to
to
be
pay
paid.
it,
Okay. Now, with that being said, Commissioner Nash, what is your vote?
yes.
Okay, Commissioner Stirk?
Yes.
Commissioner Marshall?
Yes.
Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have authorization to go ahead and pay, that's unanimous out of the court, for line item D as stated. With that being said, we'll move to item E, and that's a purchase of a vehicle. Commissioner Marshall brings that to the court. Commissioner?
Yes, sir, I've got one of the goods that we've had in service that's given us a lot of problems. We checked the other day at the place over there where Bucket got his, and they told me at that time they had one truck left and didn't know how long it'd be before they got more, so I needed to go ahead and get one anyway.
Okay.
But, and like Buck said, I mean, it's just to have a good record of it, and it's just below $33,000 for 2020 3/4 ton Chevrolet.
And that's,
And I put it on the motion.
okay, so that's a motion. Is there a second?
Okay.
Commissioner Stark, second that.
Okay, Commissioner Stirk, we'll put you down as the chair recognizes you as with the second. Comments or questions? Donnie has a question.
Okay, I noticed that when Buck did his, it said from the buy board. Did we need to put that in there? Or-
Yes,
Actually,
it should be exactly the way Buck was.
Was it
So-
by board or was it HGAC?
It's the fleet.
But the it's
He's
one of the,
part of the buy board,
one of
but
the buy boards.
it's one of the buy boards.
Okay. So we do acknowledge
Pretty cheap.
that additional comments is that it's through the Bible board or the pre-existing authorized purchase that we typically utilize. And it comes out of Commissioner's equipment purchase line item. All right, thank you for that clarification for everyone. Thank you, Donese. All right. Was I polling for the vote already?
I don't remember.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's go. We do have the motion second, right? We have the discussion. So as we're coming back around, Commissioner Nash, your vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Stirk, your vote.
Yeah.
Commissioner Marshall, it's your motion, so I'm assuming you're voting for this as well.
Yes.
And Commissioner Hudson.
Yes.
Okay, so it is unanimous, authorizing the purchase for Commissioner Marshall. Let's move to item F, and that's the approval, affirmation, and ratification of the application submitted by the county for the purpose of securing grant funding under the County Transportation Infrastructure Fund Program, including acceptance and approval of the following included therein. Commissioner Marshall brings that to the court's attention. Commissioner?
Yes, sir. I spoke with Susan Stover this morning. If this is the one with Ivanhoe and the city of Woodville and Tyler County Water.
No.
That grant?
No, this is the TxDOT county contracts for the purpose of preparing and submitting applications for with the road reports according to Texas Transportation Code and the Infrastructure Fund project.
It's the,
CTIF
yeah,
grant. TxDOT CTIF grant.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm really not that much familiar. I mean, I know which grant you're talking about, but I don't have any other information on it.
This is the information, Mike, that Stan Reed with Allison Bass and McGee had sent to us.
I got you.
And he prepared it for court action so that it would satisfy all the requirements. We had to take action on it today in order to meet the deadline by tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I got a bid on, or I didn't get a bid, I'm sorry. I've got a cost estimate on restabilized and resurfacing the industrial park road.
Yes, sir.
That city's about, split up between all four precincts. Anyway, it was for about the amount of the grant that, a little over $200,000. But, anyway, I would like to make a motion that we use that grant to try to resurface the road.
Okay,
The industrial park road.
so that is your motion, that we utilize
I'll put
this.
it in a motion.
Got it. And there's second by Commissioner Nash. Additional comments or conversation regarding this? So we are seeking the CTIF grant through TxDOT for the purpose of the resurfacing and stabilizing of the road. And Mike, what is that county road number?
Ooh, not real sure, Judge.
Okay,
3020?
but it's known as the Industrial Park
I
Road
don't know it.
for common
Yes, sir.
terminology. Okay, so we all understand. All right. So we do have a motion
I
with
can
a
get
second.
your number.
We do have the motion and second. Any additional comments? Commissioner Nash, what is your vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Stirk?
Or,
Commissioner Marshall, it's your motion. Commissioner Hudson?
4.
Okay, so it's unanimous. We will seek that grant, and if we can get that sent out to Allison Bass and McGee, since we've taken the formal action on that, before you leave office today, please, ma'am.
Who made the second?
That was Commissioner Nash.
Martin.
Okay, so it passes unanimously. We go to item D, and that's the purchase of 4 new patrol units. Sheriff, you're on the line with us, and you're asking for your annualized allocation of vehicle purchases. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct, Judge. I was just asking that the court consider and approve this. It's to get as you mentioned, the purchase of 4 new patrol units. They'll be replacing 2013 and 2014 models. Also one that if you are in a wreck, we will be being reimbursed, back into the capital outlay, line item budget for that. We have as you see on there, it is with, First Financial Bank. We have a standing pre-existing financial approval through them. And again, this will be money that is already be within the sheriff's department capital outlay, new equipment, if you will, budget. So I just asked the court consider it approved.
Okay, I'll set that in the form of a motion. That is compliance with what we have set in the budget, and then also the existence of financing it through First National Bank, Wichita Falls. We've enjoyed a really appropriate relationship with a lot of different equipment purchases with that particular financer. And so I'll ask for a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mike. We do have the motion with second. Additional comments, gentlemen? Hearing none. Commissioner Nash, your vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Stirrup?
For.
Commissioner Marshall? Or Commissioner Hudson?
For.
So it is unanimous. We'll go ahead and authorize that share for you. Thank you for bringing that to the court's attention. Item H is the accepting of the resignation of Dale as Precinct 1 Constable effective midnight, May 31st. You may recall, gentlemen, we had some question last agenda regarding moving forward with Dale's request. We did vet this out through all of the appropriate legal counsel, and it does meet the entirety of the requirements. And so we just take formal acceptance of his resignation, which will go into effect midnight on May 31st. And so I'll go ahead and set that in form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hudson. All right, comments or questions? Commissioner Nash, how do you vote?
For.
Commissioner Stirrup?
For.
Commissioner Marshall?
Or
Commissioner Hudson?
For.
Okay, so it is unanimous. We will accept the resignation of one of our fellow officials, and it'll become effective as stated here in the agenda, May 31st, and that is unanimous. Takes us to item I. Again, you may recall, we wanted to be sure that we were following exactly what the letter of the law says in this regard, and we do have confirmation. We have one candidate who is unopposed, who has agreed to fill the unexpired term, who will need to take the oath of office on June 1st and fulfill the unexpired term of Constable Dale Freeman. And he has agreed to do that. And it's in the form of a motion for candidate-elect Ronnie Ford to do such. Is there a motion?
Commissioner Stirrup, make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there a second?
second.
Thank you, Commissioner Marshall. Comments or questions? Commissioner Nash, how do you vote?
For.
Commissioner Stirrup?
Oh,
What did you say?
For.
Four? Okay.
for, yeah.
Okay. Since it was your motion,
Not even all.
we're glad. Commissioner Marshall, you had the second. So you're voting for as well? And Commissioner Hudson?
For.
Okay, it's unanimous, and that will begin the process of fulfilling of that unexpired term with candidate-elect Ronnie Ford. All right. He does have to be bonded for the remaining amount, and does have to take the oath of office, and so the usual requirements are associated with that. And that will be, I just want to clarify this, it's only for the unexpired term. In January, he will take his own personal term, which he sought through the election process. Item J is the authorization of the bid construction projects from the General Land Office Hurricane Harvey infrastructure contract. So we need to go through the bid process for for this contract. And I'll set it in form of a motion. So we authorize the bid of constructions. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash. Comments or questions?
You made the motion, then?
I did. Okay. Commissioner Nash, how do you vote?
Or,
Okay. Commissioner Stirk?
Or,
Commissioner Marshall?
So Judge, what was this construction on?
We're just off.
The,
Go ahead.
this is the one for the cities and I don't know and all that.
It's the three projects for the 75979 allocation that was appropriated to Tyler County.
right, okay, I'm following.
Okay. And Commissioner Hudson?
Or,
Okay, so it's unanimous. We'll move forward with the bids of the construction of those projects. Item K is informational, and it's for our Veteran Service Monthly Report. Tina is with us today, and I'm going to ask her to slide up a little bit closer if she can get closer to the microphone just to give you an update on what's going on with our Veteran Service Program. Officer Kleberg.
Yes, sir. We're doing actually pretty good. So far, we have seen 185 veterans for the month of May.
He's seen, meaning physically see him? Or had-
We've called,
Okay, so you've had contacts, right?
we've had
Okay.
contact. 163 calls, 22 walk-ins. For the entire month, or for the entire year, we've seen about 639 so far for 2020.
Very good.
We've had 8 days of transportation with 13 veterans taken, but we're down to 3 drivers right now. 2 of them are out.
And obviously, the last 2.5 months have been very difficult with Veterans Administration and seeing people down at the VA clinic, I should say.
Veterans are still sketchy about getting out. Michael DeBakey, the drivers aren't allowed in. They have to have temperature checks. They've canceled a lot of appointments. We're getting sporadic appointments. We've actually kept ourselves busy. We have gone through all of the old files, dated 2003 to 2017. We call it each and every individual reaching out, all the inactive files.
Okay.
We've got about 7 veterans that we've made new appointments for.
Awesome. Very good. Just for the court's benefit, Tina has indicated to me that there was a number of days that they were not able to do any work from within the office, even
Yes.
though they would go in and they would get the mail, get the messages that were on the recordings, and then do the follow-up. But as far as the typical schedule, they were down a good bit for most of the time period.
We have, we scheduled down, we were going into the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon. We cut that out temporarily because we had nothing to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon. We didn't want to waste the county's time taking hours that we weren't using. So we cut Tuesdays and Thursdays out. If we get busier, then we'll continue that, if it's okay with everybody, you know.
Sure.
But at this point now, we're only seeing one person a day at the end. Some days we have nobody coming in. But we've been proactive where we're calling veterans to have them come in if they need anything, and it's working.
Good. Well, thank you. It's been kind of stressful for everybody.
It has been.
Thank you, Tina.
Thanks.
We just want to keep the court up to date since we've gone through a transition. Just for the record, we want to let the record reflect that the chief for juvenile probation, Terry Allen, has joined the court. We are down to just reports right now. I want to update you, gentlemen, on some activities on the courthouse remediation. We have received the electronic version of the completed construction documents, which include the technology drops. They will be forwarded to each of you. I wanted to take a moment just to let you know that we've gotten them before we forwarded them to you. Also, I'm going to recommend that we do a joint workshop of both the Commissioners Court and the Steering Committee to determine what our next step needs to be now that we've gotten the completion of these documents. Also, I want to note that on the 16th of April, Kay had previously forwarded to each of you the analysis of the cost estimator, which had the breakdown by room. Now, she can resend that if you need for her to do so, but if you want to go back to that particular date, she did send it out, and we did confirm that this morning. We have no update from either the architect or Marsh Waterproofing regarding the leak to the front, which is the north of the courthouse, which was reported back on the 5th of May. So I just wanted to give you that information as an update. Okay. I think that takes care of everything that we needed to accomplish with the agenda this morning. If there's no further business for the court, then we can go into
Motion to
adjournment. Okay, so Commissioner Nash has the motion for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hudson. All in favor? Commissioner Nash and Hudson have it. So Commissioner Marshall, any objection? Commissioner Stirrup, you agree to adjourn too?
Okay,
Okay.
I agree.
We will stand adjourned then until a future agenda. Thank you all for your time and your work for the county. Thank you. Yes, sir.
No longer big.
I keep it, I keep myself up. And it's,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Keep your options.